kinds of different things there, like culture differences. uh, there's a management control as well, which has a very important role to play in the valuation of the acquisition as well, and in performing the post acquisition integration. So this is basically the essence of my research, that why I intend to read management control role in the mergers and acquisition. So I read the one paper, for example, serial number 1. So I just record these kind of headings, which I believe you can add or delete as per your choice, but I believe these are the things which should be recorded after reading a paper. So I wrote the title, year, in which journal the paper is published, in which category of the ABDC, who are the authors, and of course the DOI, because if I want the paper, so I can directly access from this DOI. Then I move towards what is the goal, aim, objective, purpose. These are the same thing. So what is the aim of the paper? What are the research questions they are tackling? What is the contribution of that particular paper? How they find the research gap? What is the specific research gap they are following? What are the hypotheses they are testing? What method they used? What is the sample size they have taken for their research? How they collected the data, and which theory they used during their analysis, in which country they apply their they collect the data, in which market they are reading the analysis, and what is the limitation of the paper, what are the main major, or you can say key findings of that paper, what they suggested for the future and young researcher. And this is the very important column, which is my insight. So this is basically your insights, what uh, in from what lens you are seeing this paper. For example, I used to write, if I would be the author of that paper and if I was doing that research, so what new I can do in that research, what aspect of your area is unexplainable by that paper, so that you would do if you were the author. So I write this kind of things in the my insights column. This will help you to articulate your thoughts from individual paper to the literature as a whole. So this kind of things, and as a whole this will look like just like, see, this the theory column, so you can see which theories are using in your area. Like this is social identity theory. If they are using no theory, you can just simple write any not applicable. Contingency theory, configurational theory, set theory. So while when you are reading the full literature and prepare the Excel file, then you will be more confident to build the arguments in the theoretical sense. So this is please note that this is just a copy paste from the paper. I have not write anything in it. It is just simple copy paste from that paper. And several people criticize that these are just record keeping, like bookkeeping of accounting. So you are not doing anything new. Why you are doing the copy paste only? So this is just the copy paste due to one fact, that I have to capture the main essence of the paper. If I wrote in my own language, then I can lose the main idea of the paper as well. So to avoid that risk, I use the copy paste system in the Excel file only. But that doesn't mean that I have not written anything at my own language. I have written. Let me show you. So this is the summaries of papers which I read so far. So this number one, suggests that number one of the Excel sheet. So if I write number one, I just wrote one and wrote down in my own words. So if you check the word limit, this is just 109 words. You can assume 100. So I just, closed my eyes, and after reading the paper, I just articulate the thoughts about the paper, what paper is talking about, what they have discussed, what is the important which I should write apart from the Excel file as well. So I just wrote whatever I understood from the paper in just 100 words. The beauty of this writing is basically when you read 40, 50 or more papers, so you have a lot of collection in your own language with less plagiarized word. So you can use that directly into your thesis. You can use in your research design, while you are building your theoretical arguments. So this is the second step which I follow. The third one is basically I perform like some kind of thematic analysis. So when I read that summaries, so I found some kind of themes which I wrote down there, like cultural differences, management controls, and the acquisition performance. So beauty of this section is, under this heading you can put as many paper as you can from this list, from one to whatever papers you have read. So each paper, one paper can go into three headings, one paper can go into only one heading, and the one paper can go into the three or four headings as well. So you have to identify the theme. This is a very challenging and important step, and even I have not finished it now. I'm just in the process for finishing it. So this is cultural difference. The second theme which I found is national administrative heritage. Third one is strategies, then internal control weakness, investor perceptions, organization learning, and so on. So this is the these are the my steps that I follow while preparing the research proposal. And how I identify the research gap. This process at the end will give you the specific research gaps. Research gaps, according to me, should have some kind of characteristics, like it should be unique, which we will discuss in the the later slide. So first of all, we need to understand what is the importance of research gaps. So as per my experience, these research gaps are needed to extend the existing literature. If the research gaps is weak, then you will not be able to extend your existing literature, to be honest. The second thing, it is useful if you want to contribute significantly in your research area. Without it, you can't contribute. You can write that this research has happened in developed economies, we are doing in the developing one. But to be honest, this is just a change of the setting, not a significant contribution if you want to publish in a good quality, journals. Third one is, it is very useful, of course, in publishing high quality journals. And the fourth one is, it helps you in getting good job in academics as well. So how I look for the research gaps? So I just, keep in mind that I am looking for what is unattended, and it should be important to study, because, sometimes there are, few things in the literature which remains unattended, but that might be not important to study. So you have to identify what is unattended, and simultaneously you have to think whether it is important to study or not. So these are the characteristics which should be in your mind while you are reading literature, while you are looking for the research gaps. So it comes from the extensive literature review, of course. And please do not rush in methods and writing part, because some scholars, what they did, they skip the literature review part and involve in the learning the methods, writing part. Your methods and data analysis and everything will be set out by the research questions only. Depending on the research question, you have to choose the methods. You can't choose the method before finalizing your research question. So please note this down, that do not rush in methods and writing part at this stage. Just go for the extensive literature review and finish it first. Yes, so you have to trust the process, which is very time consuming, to be honest. And we need to understand why clear research gap is required. So we already discussed that to contribute meaningfully in your research area, to understand the research process, scientifically, and this will open up new future areas as well in your field for young scholars as well. And sometimes it might happen that it will add another subject in your area as well. So you can introduce a new subject as well, if you are following scientific research process in order to arrive at the research questions or research gap. So this point is important, that your research question should tackle a problem or tension which is of practical significance. So you should have keep in mind that there should be a problem in your research area, and that problem should have some practical significance as well. That problem should be new to the area. That means unattended and underexplored by the existing literature of your area as well. And it should be important to study as well. So these are the characteristics. If you find these characteristics in your research question, that means you did the process right. Otherwise, you have to, do some kind of more literature review based on the theory again. And your research question should show some kind of bidirectionality. You can't predict your result. This is the basically the main research. You hypothesize some kind of relation, but you can't predict whether it should be positive or negative. It can go anyway. So that means you are going in the right way if it likes if research question has been made in this type of manner. So we need to understand some kind of difference, between vague and specific research questions as well. So as per my experience, these are the words, which has been derived by me only. So tension versus general, specific versus broad. In case of me, if I'm talking about the research questions, so if I say that my research question is, the role of management control system in the mergers and acquisition, so it looks a general research question or a broad one. The I can publish, I cannot publish in a high quality journal with this research question. I need to narrow down it to the specific, or there should be some kind of problem or tension reflected in the research question. So I have to tell them that what kind of management control I am reading, whether I am reading cultural controls, whether I am reading uh, diagnostic controls or any other control, why it is necessary to read those types of control. So I have to wrote whether cultural control is leading to the acquisition performance or not. So in this fashion, I have to create some kind of research question, not so broad, not so general, just focus on the specific one. And the concept versus context, meaning you have to focus on the concept, which you will get from the theoretical underpinnings, which I am just talking about, like cultural control is a concept. So what I seen in some kind of research paper, that they are saying that they just change the context. They are saying we are conducting the research, the past literature conducted the research in the developed economies, we are conducting in the developing economies. So it is just a context change, not a pure contribution, I believe. So you have to produce something new. You can't change the context or variables every time and claim the contribution of the study. This is wrong. So especially for the researcher who are doing their thesis, this will not work in the thesis. Focus on the quality versus quantity. So you have to produce, if you are able to produce only 2 or 3 research questions which is of very high quality, it will be good as compared to producing vague research questions in 7 or 8 vague research question. That will not work for you. So focus on the quality, avoid the quantity one. Yeah, so the next one is how a good framed research question help me in overcoming challenges associated with this UNSW and IMT Ghaziabad international research collaboration. So what I believe, while I frame the research question based on the literature review and based on the theory, so it helps me in assuring that I am doing the correct scientific process. It basically shows the confidence and hard work you did in analyzing the existing literature. It shows the ability of your research proposal, to contribute meaningfully and significantly in your research area. And it describes the further action or path of your research journey as well. So these are the points, this research questions can claim this kind of stuff. So you have to be very sure. First of all, read the literature, focus on the theory, then framing down to the research gap, and then went towards the establishing the research question. So this is the process you have to follow. You can't skip any step in between these
So,
steps.
Adnan, sorry to like interrupt.
Yeah, yeah.
Like before starting this new topic, so can we take like 2 questions from our participants?
Of course, of course.
Okay, so the first question is of like Bhavna. How did you sort paper in Excel, and how to access like database like Scopus and Web of Science if they do not have the access in the institute? But I think the question would be good if you can tell us how did you sorted your papers in Excel? If you can just explain us more.
Sorted in Excel means
The title wise you had sorted in the Excel, the paper you have read and you just try to do point out the things from the paper, and then later on you have written that your insights. So how did you sort it out paper? Like, did you put any keyword or something to find the paper, or like maybe?
yeah. So basically, I use the keywords in the Scopus database as well, in the Google Scholar as well. And I unfortunately do not have the access of the Web of Science, so I put some kind of keywords, combination of different keywords. And even 1 week I spent on just collecting the papers. So some repeated papers has also come through that process. I remove the duplicates one, and when the list is prepared, so I just prepare a folder in which all the papers are there. Then I one by one read those papers, and my philosophy is to read a paper first, and then do not do anything. Again, when you are reading that paper, then you have to put your all stuffs in the Excel file. So I just put up the Excel file in a chronological order, like I show to the column wise. The first is serial number, then title of the paper, then general and year, so on. So I just follow these practices. And what is the second question?
Okay. So, Bhavna, like you can unmute yourself and you can ask directly if you want to.
So hello sir. Actually, I want to ask that कि आपने जो Excel में जो IMRAD पूरा I mean dissect किया हुआ है like introduction, methodology, the hypothesis part. I mean you done it manually or I mean
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
have used some kind of
No
okay so you
software has been used in it. It has been created, full sheet manually.
okay sir. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think the same question was of Aritra also. Are the thematic analysis done manually or did you use any software? So,
The
it is.
all the things, please participant noted, do not use any kind of software in this process. You have to apply your thoughtful insights here. You can use software for collecting the papers. For example, you will use keywords in a software like Scopus. You are using Scopus, putting the keywords, collecting the papers. You are using Google Scholar to collect the papers. But while reading the paper, do not use shortcut, do not use chat gpt in it. Some kinds of scholars used to just copy the paper and put on the chat gpt and said, prepare the summary for me. This is not a good way. You have to summarize the papers in your own words. This is very important step. Otherwise you cannot frame any kind of specific research questions for your thesis or for your research. So you have to do all the things manually. You have to create the Excel sheet manually. I have just copy pasted the matter, but I thought with my mind that what should be the copy pasted material should be go in the Excel sheet. Thematic analysis, of course, is your own language, so you have to articulate everything. There should be no software used by me, but I am not aware whether there should be a software you can use it. But as per my thoughts, please don't use software in this process. The paper should be read by you. The paper should be articulate by you only.
Yes, the insight should be from the within, like what you understood.
Definitely,
What that
Sabha's insights will different, my insights will be different.
right.
So please do not go on the software part. That will create a big kind of problem in your research.
Okay. Yes, Adnan. Thank you so much. Please carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Sabha. So I think we have covered that slide. Yeah, so we are going towards the challenges associated with the opportunity, especially after going overseas, and how I overcome with it. So what are the challenges I faced during that UNSW and IMT Ghaziabad collaboration? As per my experience, first challenge is I face a very high quality competition among peers as well. So there are lots of students participated in this competition. So you have to be very clear about your research topic. That is why I'm saying that you have to follow that process theory, reading the literature, drive the research gap, and go for the research question, because that will separate you from the crowd. So the high quality of competition I face, and there are robust selection procedure as well. So I have followed. I have to clear two steps, step one and step two, and there might be step three as well, which I told earlier in the session, like interview. So it depends university to university, and every university has a very robust selection procedure. Yes, there after selection, there is some kind of pressure to perform as well, but I count as a healthy pressure. That pressure should be there, I believe. So there is a healthy pressure to perform. They are expecting us. I am just in the third year of my PhD program, FPM program, and they are expecting me to publish a star on FT50 paper. So this is kind of a pressure, and I'm performing on it. But I believe that this is a healthy pressure, not so that kind of psychological pressure. So they are expected from us to contribute in the research field. What are the challenges I face in the administrative procedure as well? So this is just a different kind of world. So as per my experience, I face some kind of delay as well in the visa process, a little bit delay in the offer letter as well. So please do not worry about it. These are just administrative things, and it will take time. So be mentally ready for that. And please arrange various kinds of documents in advance. It will help you in reducing your mental pressure. And third one is please keep you updated about any changes in policies related to your tool. So some kind of rules, regulation, and policies has been changing, for example, regarding accommodation, regarding flights, and regarding anything in that country in which you are visiting. So please keep you updated from various sources like Google, YouTube, and several other websites as well. Yeah, so this is the thing which I want to share, that there are some kind of challenges I faced after arrival in Australia, basically. So first challenge is the accommodation. I got a little bit overconfident that let's do one thing, pack the stuffs and then go to the Australia, and I will search for the accommodation after reaching there. But that thought, would be very difficult on me if I will not get the accommodation, before the arrival. So thanks to the UNSW off campus accommodation team that they provide me the accommodation before my arrival. Otherwise, it would be a very difficult step, because accommodation is not a very easy thing to find out here. So you have to search, 1 or 2 months advance. Although I'm searching from the past 2 months, but I could not get any accommodation. So you have to search on the accommodation of the country in which you are visiting. Travel challenges, yes, because I'm first time traveling. That is why I face some kind of travel challenges. I have not aware about the flights and rates, and also I have to keep me updated. A little bit hard work on that part as well. I have to search spend some extra time on it as well. Food, when you change the country, of course the food is very different. So you have to be adaptable for that food. Otherwise you have to find some kind of your own country restaurants. And please be aware of the laws in which in laws of that country in which you are visiting, because you have to follow the laws, and the laws are different from country to country. So you have to be aware about basic laws of there. So you should be work on that as well. And how I deal with those challenges, the dealing part is very easy. Just remain adaptable, keep updating yourself through various kinds of channels, and enjoy this learning process. This is not a very difficult to achieve, and of course this is not a very easy task to achieve as well. So just enjoy the part, enjoy the process of your literature review, enjoy the learning. Exposure is very important, and enhance your experience. It will add to your experience. And this is, believe me, PhD is a very beautiful journey. So you have to just follow the scientific process, nothing else. And thank you so much. I think that is all from my side, which I can share. These are my insights and experiences for that. If there is any questions, so participants, please, you can ask it.
Okay,
Hello. Yes, Mr. Adnan, can I ask?
Yeah. Please, Mahesh, please.
Yeah. Good evening. It was a really nice presentation. Thank you for that, and pretty insightful. Not only with regard to selecting these, many more insights you shared. Like systematically reviewing the literature and developing good insights. Thanks for that. Okay, my question is just a clarification question. You answered that partially, but I just want more insight on that.
Okay.
My question is regarding finding the relevant institute to find the exchange. You have a slide there, but can you? I'm just wondering, will it be a good idea, like you mentioned in your site, on your slide, is to giving a cold call to some university regarding that, or I'm not sure. So, what's your experience there?
Yeah, so basically, I got the opportunity, from my institute, so I am not aware about that one as well. Have I mentioned in some slide?
Yeah, you mentioned it, from university's website. So can you go to that slide?
Okay.
So that means, you're just approaching the university without any reference or without any, can you go to that slide? I think it was pretty much in beginning.
I think this is this slide.
Yeah. So through institutes that I got, like you have done there.
Through institutes, yeah. So through institutes, meaning in which institutes basically you are doing your academic thing. So you get the notification from your institute,
Yeah.
and
So
if some kind of institutes publicly publish their vacancies regarding this, so you
right,
can cold calling. This is not a type of cold calling because they are publishing the vacancy, so you can apply on it. But
right.
the sources by which you can get that newsletter is just a LinkedIn research website through their own websites, and of course follow the Service Setu academics. So this which I would want to say on it.
Okay, I got it. So yeah, I think I got your point. So it has to be either through your collaborating institutions or through some specific vacancies which is being published somewhere, right?
Yeah, you have to look for the specific vacancy. I'm not aware about it, but there should be, I think. But this is basically a collaboration between, institutes,
Right, right.
largely, mostly. So if your institute is collaborating with some kind of other institute or university, so you will definitely get the notification from your international relation department.
Yeah, just one extending this thing, the collaboration which IMT is having, is it regarding is it anything related to research collaboration, or is this a collaboration with their global MBA program or something like that? So that has worked. So whatever
No,
the
no. It is, inaugural research collaboration between IMT Ghaziabad and UNSW, and it is not just IMT. There are two other institutes are involving in it as well. Two IMs also involved in this process. So
okay,
two IMs and one IMT Ghaziabad, and they have selected only two students out of these three institutes.
right. So congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Then you have
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So Abhishek, like if you want, you can take up your question, or maybe like I can read out your question. If you want. Okay. So Adnan, there
Mhm.
is a question. Okay, yes, Abhishek, please. Adnan, can you stop sharing like your PPT so that we can see you clearly in a bigger
Oh,
screen?
sorry.
No problem. Yes, please carry on. If anyone have question, like please carry. So Adnan, I'm going to answer, take up the question. What kind of questions did they ask you in the interview process? It is a question from Abhishek Gupta.
There
So
is no interview process in my case, but it can be in your case. So I'm just saying that please be prepared for the interview as well. In my case, there's just, I have to submit one proposal of 500 words, which is step one. Then I have to submit the 1500 research proposal, which is step two. So there is no interview, but they have, selected me on the basis of my research proposal.
all right, all right.
So hi, I'm Ritik. So
Hi.
building upon the question of Mahesh, so even I am interested in knowing the what are the opportunities if my university does not have a direct collaboration with a foreign university, then how do I pursue it further? Because then it gets difficulty. So in case of your institution, it has a collaboration.
Yeah.
Similarly, IIT Delhi has one with University of Queensland, and IIT Bombay has with Monash and all. So
Mm-hmm.
that is there. But if my university doesn't have it, then do how do I keep waiting for the opportunities to come up, or do I directly contact the professors over there with my research interest? Can it be a way, or are there some other ways as well? And if I go through that way, will there be any scholarship opportunities? So
Yeah, so scholarship opportunities, which I believe is through the institutes only. You can contact the foreign, professors, but not for the research collaboration. I believe you can take the insights of them on your research area, and institutes has a very bigger role in providing these types of collaboration. But apart from the institutes, you can just search for the foreign university websites as well if they are want to give some kind of a scholarship, if they are willing to provide some kind of opportunity. Otherwise I don't think there are much option for that without any institutes. So it should be from your institute, I think, which would be very better. So you can give some kind of suggestion as well to your international research center as well. to go for that type of collaboration, which will benefit both the institutes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So I would like to add some for the Ritik, since I have been associated with IIT Roorkee International Relations Department. So I have like a few working knowledge on that. So what you asked about IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay with Monash University, it is like a dual degree program which they take up, and it is completely the project based. They take up the project, and then based on that you can apply on that, which is like entirely separate from the regular PhD program. So that is the one way to get the like collaboration degree, that is dual degree program which universities provide. Another thing is what you can do, you just check with your international relations department. If there is any MOU between the institutes, then you can take the lead and connect with the professors from that institute, and you can take up your exchange program there. But you just have to check the MOU with the universities. And the third one is, this is the like very difficult path, which has a very less chance to work out, but sometimes it works. What you can do is you find out the professor who is in any international university and is of your area. Then you can show your interest to them, and if that professor is like happy with your work and he's ready to take up, then like you and both the professors can approach to your institutes, and then like both can have the collaboration. Right. So this will require like more work, and has a less chance to be executed because the universities are involved. But I have seen like if one professor takes the initiative, the institute always supports that. So that can be the like third way of getting the international exchange program done. And it will definitely going to give you so much credit about it, because you are going to lead the MOU between the two universities. Right. So
Okay,
these
thank you,
are
ma'am.
the
But in this way as well. So if it happens, then again there's a contingency about the scholarship part. So how would the funds be managed? Who would fund?
right. See, normally if there is an MOU between two institutes, so they are fully funded for because it is going to be an exchange program or somewhat like that. So, and if they are not funding, like there are many scholarships. I mean, I could not recall the name, but there are scholarships available which you can apply. I mean, the ICSSR maybe also can give. You can just write to them that I have been selected for that. So there are many scholarships available outside also, but it will be good if you like try to get everything involved into the MOU. And the easiest way is you just try to find out any already executed MOUs between the universities. That will be the very safest area to go for your international collaboration, because dual degree program, yes, someone has written Fulbright scholarship, yes, Abhishek. So these are the scholarship which is available for a student who has been selected and not getting the scholarship.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So anyone else? Okay, Bhavna has got the question. When do UGC provide other miscellaneous funds for projects? This is other than contingency of UGC GRF. I mean, it is like completely as per the UGC norms. So initially, they already mentioned like how much contingency you are going to get and how much scholarship they are going to get. And other than that, I'm not sure they entertain. So miscellaneous fund is this contingency fund only. So as per my view, but still like you can check on the UGC net site. But as per my view, this is going to be the contingency fund and your scholarship. Any, like you can, if anyone have question, you can unmute and ask. So till like by the time Adnan, if someone asks question, can you just like help us how you got your keywords searched? I mean, if someone maybe like it will be useful for them also to know
Yeah.
what
So
combinations. How did you find out the relevant papers? If someone is not having any Scopus or like or Web of Science access, they can always do it from the Google Scholar also.
Yeah, so basically for the Google Scholar, I completed a short course, which I think is a YouTube channel with research with Fawad, FAWAD. So
Okay.
the sir has beautifully explained in 8 videos that how you can advance search in the Google Scholar. So I completed that course, and of course the keywords is my own area. So I will tell you what are the keywords. Then I have also searched by visiting in each and every journal of ABDC, A star, and A related to my area like accounting and finance. So I search the accounting journals of A star and A category by visiting directly into it. Every journal has a different interface, so I have to apply keywords in that manner. So
Okay.
keywords are basically I am interesting in mergers and acquisitions, and of course on the management control part. So I used management control as a one keyword. Then I put or word in capital letters, then MCS, management control system, MC as well, management control. So these are 3 4 keywords which I am using for the management control area. For the M&A there are a lot more keywords like M&A, and there is a one symbol of and. So M&A, mergers and acquisitions, simple acquisition, takeover as well. So these kind of combination I have prepared. So there are a lot more keywords in case of my research. I have for I think I spent 1 or 2 weeks in the keyword process only, and downloading the papers from those. So you have to download from the 3 sources. I have downloaded from 3 sources: Scopus, Google Scholar, and by visiting each and every journal. And I've created separate folders for all of these three, and I just remove the duplicates and then purify all the papers in only a single folder. But I have not deleted those 3 folders as well for the records.
All right. Someone had raised the hand, Mani Nandini ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mani Sharma. Yes, please, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much. I really cherish, like, I had good information about what you have told. Into that, I want to add something more, and I want to know if it is possible.
Thank
Like,
you.
if there is a possibility of going for universities and institutes for MOU or approaching the professors, would it be also right to reach out to embassies for that? Of that particular country to like, would it facilitate?
To be honest, ma'am, I have no idea about the embassy thing.
Ma'am, yes, I can take that question. So, ma'am, like between the countries, there is already the agreement between the countries which you can find online. So, like India and Australia have their already the agreement between them, and same like for many other countries, we do have. Like India have the collaboration. That is why they take our degree, like at par with their degree. So then only they take admission based on like the credits which our university gives. So we already have like MOUs between the countries. So through that channel, we can, directly the institutes can collaborate.
Okay.
We just have to
So,
check both the countries have MOU or not, and that is like easily available online. You can like easily check with
okay.
that.
So, if like the embassy can also facilitate regarding the university, approaching the university.
Yes, ma'am, they can, because once the international exchange program, has got set up, the students always get channelized through embassy because they have to apply for the visa and so many things. So embassies are definitely involved in that.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay. Is it so with the students only, or the faculty can also be there?
Yes, ma'am. Difficulties like definitely going to be there, because if two institutes are ready to get the MOU done, it is easy for them to execute. But if a professor initiates that, that is also a way, but it is somehow a little bit harder to get executed, because first we have to go through the institute's administration, then through embassy, then to the other country. If both agreed, then the MOU will happen.
Okay. And like, it could be there with the working people also, it could be there with the research scholars also for the project, or for a few months exchange program, or workshop, or taking classes. Something could be there for faculty also.
Um, Ma'am, I didn't get your question. Is it related to other than like international exchange program? No.
Yeah.
the students. For ma'am, for faculty and other people, like I think it is a very easier way to get into the international collaboration because it is between the two individuals only.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, if we have to visit, then visa is the process which we have to route it through the embassy. But between two individuals, it is very easy to get the agreement done.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
So if anyone have any other question, you can ask. So I would say like you just be connected with us in ServiceSetu Academics, and we are going to get you so many sessions also. In this, soon we are going to launch our research methodology classes topic wise. So stay tuned. I have given the channel link and things in our chat box also. And we are going to share other details also in our mail. This PPT, which Mr. Adnan has shared, that is, we are going to share with you all. You can always write to us on info@servicesetu.org, and feel free to like join us. I think someone has raised hand. I mean, yes, if you have any query, please ask. Someone had raised hand. So I think we can like wind up the session. I would like to thank Adnan for joining us and sharing your journey. It was really
No,
insightful.
it is
And
my pleasure to share the insights, and thank you so much, Sava, for providing me the opportunity.
yes, definitely. Like it is my pleasure and honor to have you here. And thank you all the participants for joining us. If you have any query, just write to us. We are going to, uh, give response to you. And we respond to every mail. So just feel free to write us. And if you have any query, anything, you just let us know and we will get it solved. So stay tuned. And thank you, Mani ma'am. Thank you. Adnan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you, Adnan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.